And now, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome your host, Donald. You can't handle the truth. Briggs.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Thank you so much for coming tonight. I appreciate that. I don't know where he get these names from, though. But anyway. Welcome to tomorrow's Thespians. We have 3 wonderful performers for you this afternoon. So before we get to them, let's go ahead and meet the judges. He's one of the stars of the smash hit A Chorus Line, can be seen in the new JetBlue commercials, and is a director and choreographer of a new musical called Romeo and Bernadette. Everybody show your love for Justin Ross, please.
Hello.
Hey, Justin, how you doing?
Donald, good to be here.
All right, glad you're here, glad you're here. And she's an actress, producer, and acting teacher known for her role as Tracy DeSanta in Grand Theft Auto 5, and currently producing a narrative feature that she wrote and will act in called Born That Way. There's none other than Michal Sinnott, everybody. All right, Michal, thank you for being here. Appreciate it. Famed acting coach and owner of the Artist Playhouse, he's renowned for acting in such films as Howard Stern's Private Parts, Simone, and Finding Forrester. There's none other than Barry Papick, everybody. All right, Barry. Thanks for being here, Barry. Appreciate it. So let's go ahead and get started. Performing What Study Torments Tyrant Hast for Me by the great William Shakespeare. Everybody, Jerilyn, Gashi.
What study torments, tyrant, hast for me? What wheels, racks, fires, what flame, boiling, in leads or oils? What old or newer torture must I receive, whose every word deserves to taste of thy most worst? Thy jealousies, together working with thy tyrannies, fancies too weak for boys, too vain and idle for girls of 9. Oh, look what they have done. And then run mad indeed, stark mad. For all thy bygone fooleries were but spices of it. That thou betray'st Polixenes, 'twas nothing. That did but show thee of a fool, inconstant, and damnable ungrateful. Nor 'twasn't much. Thou wouldst have poisoned good Camilla's honor to have him kill a king. Poor trespasses. More monstrous standing by, whereof I reckon the casting forth to crows thy baby daughter to be or none or little, though a devil would have shed water out of fire and done it. Nor is it directly laid to thee the death of thy young son, whose honorable thoughts high for one so tender cleft the heart, that could conceive a gross and foolish sire blemished his gracious dam. These are not, no, laid to thine answer, but the last. O lords, when I have said, cry woe. The queen, the dearest, sweetest creature's dead. And vengeance for it not dropped down yet.
Jerilyn. Great. Wonderful outfit. Love the outfit.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Let's find out what the judges started at, okay? Justin.
Hi. You know, I would like to talk with you about your physicality. That's where I come from a lot. My background began I started as a classical ballet dancer, and then I moved into musical theater. So finding a character through their physicality is one technique that I have found very helpful. And I felt you very constrained. It was very cerebral, and I got that you had been doing all of that that work in preparation, but it didn't go below your neck, and I felt your arms were almost sometimes it's really marvelous. All you have to do is just stand there and pull me in. But there was such emotion in this monologue that I just wanted you to feel the freedom to allow your body to take over as well.
Thank you. I wish I had to.
Great. All right.
Yeah, I agree with Justin. Going off of that, I wanted to see, I feel like you need to get more on your voice. So everything, while everything you were bringing to it was really truthful, it was stuck up here, and so it wasn't coming from this man, this horrific man has just killed, the person who you care about most in the world. And I get that you are bringing, real emotion to it, but this is such a guttural thing, and so it needs to come from here. And so I want next time you do this to really work on, getting in touch with your voice more and your body, and having it just like erupt out of you rather than being stuck up here, because his language is so powerful and the lines are so complicated that you have to have it come from that base, or there are just moments that won't work and there's words that we won't hear, and that's a little bit what happened. So, just if you don't have a great, if you don't have the tools for that, there's so many places where you can find them. But I would really encourage you to do that work and then come back to the piece.
And when I speak about physicality, I'm not talking about flailing around and, creating movement for the sake of, using the space.
Right.
It's like, she said, it could be the simplest, subtlest thing, but that is coming from deeper down.
Makes sense. Thank you.
Jerilyn,
Yes, sir.
you look marvelous.
Thank you
She
very
does.
much.
She does.
I think that it would come more down into your body if the personalizations were just a little bit stronger. And, it's funny, a lot of people doing Shakespeare ignore the personalizations and the truth. And what happened today was that you sort of rushed through some of the personalizations rather than really seeing these people. And I think if you did really see these people, then it would come down into your body and you wouldn't have to worry about the physicality. But I thought, overall, there were steps that were really wonderful here, and I thought you did some really nice things. But I thought that you need to get into those personalizations so it takes it out of your head and into your body.
That's very helpful. Thank you.
Jerilyn Gashi, everybody. Jerilyn. Pleasure. All right. And our next performer, here you go, Barry, Shakespeare. Our next performer.
Very nice.
Thank you. Don't score me, Barry.
Can we critique that?
Don't score me, Barry.
There's not
A little
space
less
for him.
physicality.
A little less, okay, a little less physical. And now doing a screenplay called Bilha, a self-written screenplay. Everybody welcome Sonia Grace. Sonia Grace. Come on, Sonia.
Do you not understand? I have always been your wife. No matter what you do to me, I have always been your wife. I wash your clothes, cook whatever you want. I clean the house. I stand beside you in church and let all the other women envy me for being the Reverend's wife. I make excuses for you every time. He's stressed. He worries about me. He's having a hard time with the deacons. He didn't mean to do this or that. He wasn't always like this. I tell people I fell down cleaning the house. I was not looking where I was going and I hit a wall. I cut my hand preparing cabbage. I put up with the drinking, telling myself, it is not that bad. It is only one beer. He's simply being a Kikuyu man. Even a man of God can have a drink, but I have never cheated on you, Jacob. I had every chance and every reason to cheat, knowing that you would never know, but I didn't. I couldn't, Jacob. I just could not do that to you. And no matter how much lipstick and perfume was on your shirt, you burned my hand on the stove, you dragged me outside where you kicked me like a dog, and then left me there all night. No matter what you did to me, I have always been your wife.
Sonia Grace, thank you so much, all right? Let's hear what the judges have to say about that, okay?
Hi. Well, you know, I have to say, after reading the monologue prior to the beginning of the show today, I was really looking forward to your performance. And I was pleased to see that, at least in the beginning, I did, you know, there are monologues that I call list monologues, and it's so easy to become almost like a monotone if you're not careful, if you don't take every one of those adjectives or adverbs and make them so clear and distinctive. And at the top, you were doing that. What happened, however, was, in addition, you also started at a high level of what I, call like red hot instead of white hot. And do you understand what I mean by that? White hot is, there's a burning underneath, there's a simmering, and it allows the actor to take their time and to build to the explosion. Another missed opportunity I felt was the transition where we understand that he's been beating you. And when you say, I tell people, that I fell down, that's a new thought. That's a new world that you're opening up to us. So I would look at it again. It's great material, and I think it's great material for you. Okay. But again, mix it up a little bit, color it more, and I think you'll hear, again, invest those emotions with a greater personal meaning for yourself.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree with Justin. I always agree with Justin. The biggest thing I noticed, there's a lot of wonderful things you're doing, but there was a certain cadence or rhythm to all of your words where I could tell that you had memorized this in a certain way. So when you maybe I'm wrong, but there was like there was like a rhythm to the way you spoke that didn't have this organic feel of this is the first time I'm saying it. And so one way to avoid having that, because it's challenging to memorize something, is to memorize it flat. So that then you can bring, your objectives and your tactics and your emotion to it, but you're not hitting any word in a certain way because you have the language. It's all the same. It's the same to you in your mind. And then beyond that, I felt like this is obviously a woman who's not used to speaking up, and I really felt like this was the first and the last time she's going to have to say this, because he might kill her. I don't know what he's going to do to her, but she's not the sort of person that speaks up. And so when she does, it has to be like all of her, because this is your truth, and it is maybe the only time you're going to get to speak it. So going off of that, like this white hot anger, it literally has to just be like that. It has to be like a coal inside of your chest that and heart that is like burning out of you, and it slowly starts and then erupts into something. But I felt like I didn't have. It was truthful, but it didn't have the level of conviction it needed to have coming from her circumstances. So, but I think you have such a great presence, and there's such a stillness about you that is really great. And I don't know, you have just a lovely quality to you. So keep it up.
Great. Okay.
That's interesting. That's exactly the word I was thinking of. You know, really lovely. You're great to look at and you're great to listen to. But my fellow judges are very astute. What was missing was the bottom here. You know, you landed in the action of the piece and you pushed forward in the action of the piece, but what we missed was the need of the woman. And the need of this woman is very fragile, and it has, we live in our action 100% of our time. You know, we live in our action 97% of our time. We have our need 100% of our time. As artists, we choose when we expose that need. And unfortunately, the need underneath wasn't strong enough to expose. So what happened was you lived in the action 100% all the way through. I thought you did a really good job, but the next step is to really find out what the need of this woman is and find out how to expose that need and where to expose that need. It'll build the arc that Justin was talking about, and it'll start you off in a place that maybe is a little bit easier, and we'll get to see the road traveled.
All right, Sonia Grace, everybody. Sonia, thank you so much. Great, appreciate it. All right, and now bringing out an individual who's going to do a piece titled I'm Balding, and it's not me, because I'm already bald, so I'm not balding, by Bali Kumar. Everybody welcome Patrick Reed.
Honey, go on ahead. I'm going to talk to the butcher about those bad steaks we had last month. Yes, I'm balding, and I'll have you know I was the first to notice. The family curse has begun. But you keep looking at me like I'm some kind of criminal who's murdered his entire family. No, I'm balding. I can mean almost anything. But it doesn't mean my wife is available. Ever since I started losing my hair, people like you are friendlier to my wife. We go out to shop and she gets these amazing discounts. She credits it to her forensic ability to get a good deal. No, it's my now shining head that is helping her to say, I'm still important. Balding's not the end of the world. My presence in this world has increased. So don't show me your sympathy. And don't hit on my wife. Remember, once a man has lost his hair and his wife, he's got nothing else to lose. And I will come after you, like a rabid dog.
All right, Patrick, good, all right. Let's find out what the judges thought of that, all right?
I don't know what you're talking about. Well, Patrick, you know, you present us with a situation where you clearly enjoy doing this piece of material, which makes it great fun for us as well. And you have a really Hamisha presence. I don't know if you understand the word Hamisha. It's an old Yiddish word.
Means he wants to pinch your cheek.
But it's friendly, it's nice, it's warm, and that's great. What I didn't get from your performance today was a natural ease and an honesty to the situation. It felt very rehearsed and very planned. And the critique that we give repeatedly is to try to now bring yourself to the party and not to be afraid of stillness, of silence, of a new thought coming into your head and letting it be authentic. Because if you do know your words, and, you know, as you had said, you know, to learn them flat, you know, which is something that I do. I fight the urge to memorize with, oh, this is going to be good. This is an
easier,
idea. Then
but
again, like you say,
not later.
Yes, you're playing an idea of a person instead of a real person. And you know that you brought that chutzpah at the end, you know, I'll come after you like a rabid dog. It's like, let it have more moments like that. Don't plan that. But I saw suddenly a side of this character who had levels and, you know, might actually teach me a thing or two if I do make another pass.
Right. Good. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, I felt like what you were bringing was more of like a stand-up piece than a monologue. So, you know, you were bringing the jokes and you were bringing the funny, but it wasn't rooted in character, and I don't know who you were talking to. I didn't believe that you were talking to your wife and then whoever you were talking to, and I didn't know what your relationship was to either of those people. So if I don't know those things and you don't know those things, it's hard to have a dialogue about anything else, because those are just so paramount, you know, like we always know who we're talking to in every instance in life, you know, even if we don't know who we're talking to, we have an awareness, that's the relationship that I don't know who I'm talking to. So always find that and don't just think, well, this is funny, I can get by with this, because yeah, sure, it's funny and you got some laughs, but it wasn't rooted in truth, and so therefore it's not really existing as a monologue. It's existing as like a funny little bit, you know, piece for you. And it's not serving you, and it's not serving us. Thank you.
Patrick, I'm sorry these two are so mean. If you stood on your head, you wouldn't be bald anymore. A couple things.
Oh my God.
I'm working on getting to work out.
The beard, yeah. Yeah, it's a comb over. I want to just get to this quickly. The two things that were really missing in this were the wife, who was non-existent, and she has to be there in order for this piece to work. You have to see her, and through you, we have to see her. The bottom, which is the jealousy, a time in Patrick's life when he was really jealous, we didn't see it all. So what they said was absolutely true. It became, you know, a reciting of the words or a comedy act rather than really dropping into this by doing the work. And if you had done the work, I like this piece. I think this piece can really work, but you really have to drop in and you really have to do the work.
All right. Patrick Reed, everybody. Patrick. Thank you so much, all right? Appreciate it. All right. Thank you so much. All right, so we're going to go ahead and bring the performers back out again, get a last-minute comment from the judges. Come on out here, performers. Everybody, give it up. Give it up for them. Patrick, there you go. Come on. Stand over here. Come on up. All right, last-minute comments, starting with Justin. Anything you want to add?
No, other than, you know, thank you for coming today and, you know, for sharing yourself with us. I think the good news is you've all picked material that is well-suited for you, which is key. And now I hope that, you know, what we said earlier will be of help so that when you do take it into an actual audition setting, you'll nail it.
All right, good.
Yeah, I agree. It's so important to know who you are and the parts of the characters that you're going to play. So all of you, you know, you brought pieces that were well within the range and sphere of how you'll be cast. That's half of it is knowing your type. I like to think outside of types, but you still have to have an awareness of these things. So that's great. And also, even the way you dressed, you brought a bit of that to it, which is great as well. And I think it's not easy to get up here in front of us and do this. So thank you for just for putting yourself out there and being vulnerable today, because acting is all about vulnerability, and just the act of doing this is a vulnerable act. Yeah. So applaud yourself for the things you did right, and just coming here today is really brave, and I think that's where acting starts.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was really brave what you did today, all three of you. And I think that there's no miracle in what we do. The more we work, the harder we work, the better we work. Lay in the work, trust your personalizations, live the truth, and you'll all be fine.
Thank you.
All right,
Thank
great.
you.
Any of you have anything? I'm sorry. There you go. There you go. There you go. There you go. Any of you, anything you want to say?
Thank you for the, I want to say advice, but the critique is very helpful. Thank you.
Okay.
I feel like the things you told me are ring true for the performance that I gave today and are pieces of advice that I can take and work on, and I appreciate them very much. Thanks for the honest feedback.
Feedback that I thought was most interesting was yours, because you had told us not to act, and I actually presented this in a way I've never had before. I completely did it differently. So maybe I need to go back to what I was doing before.
Well, but not acting doesn't mean not doing the work. So you still have to know what your relationship is. You still have to know, who you're talking to. You still have to do the work. You need to act and figure out your beats and do your homework alone. But I think he was speaking more to being in the moment and not bringing an idea of something to it.
Okay.
Let's find a happy medium, Patrick.
Okay, good. All right, well, thank you. Thank you to each one of them, Patrick Reed, Sonia Grace, and Jerilyn Gashi. Thank you all so much. We appreciate it. And as always, I want to thank the judges. Really appreciate you guys. Audience members, thank you so much. The crew, you can never do this thing without the crew. So I want to thank all of you guys and tell you to come back once again to see tomorrow's Thespians. Until next time, folks, we'll see you again soon.